I mean, I've got plenty of stuff I could get done, and it's like, oh, I could get that done now, and then take on extra work, and you know, make more money and all that stuff. And I'm just like, there's just no hurry. There's no urgency.
Well, if it's not an urgency and it's not a disavowing, like it's not a pushing it away, then that's your adult.
I work for 4 hours, and I just don't want to do it anymore. And I've done a bunch of corrections around that, but it's still.
Yeah, you have actually. So wait a minute. So there's something there's something we're missing. If
I'm
you've
like,
done
maybe it's
multiple
not copywriting. Is that the problem? I don't know.
well, I mean, it could be, but I mean, it's curious to me because I know that you've worked on it in different ways.
Yeah.
So what are you left with? Like I'm really curious about this. Like what is the triggering now? Like how does it show up? Like we must be missing something, Brian.
Yeah.
We have to be.
It's just kind of like I just don't want to work right now.
Well, maybe is it your adult? It does. When you just said that, it didn't feel very teeny.
That's the thing. It doesn't feel charged.
Maybe it's not, which is worse news. But the thing is, like, well, it kind of is. But I mean, like, dude, like that happens. Like, it doesn't mean like I'm not telling you like your career is over or you're all burned out. I'm just saying like maybe that's what's up with you. I mean, there are times that another person could look at a choice I make around work and think that I'm avoiding something. But I'm not. Like I'm not going to do that right now. Like I'm not in the mood to do that. And so I'm not going to. It's not like, no, I'm not doing that. It's just like, no, I'm not doing that right now. It's too much. And so it kind of doesn't you don't have a big charge there, not even just when you said it. You don't have a big charge there. I mean, do you guys sense one? I don't sense one whenever you said it. I mean, you guys have knowers. You can use your senses too. So I don't know. I don't, it doesn't, I mean, I hate to say it to you kind of, but I don't think it's very charged.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I just don't know what to do with it now. It's like, all right, all the things that were driving me were like insecurities that we've kind of resolved. And now I'm just left being like, all right, I'll do half a day of work and then just kind of muck around.
Well, and then also like maybe it's, I mean, that's okay, but maybe it's pointing you in a direction, like you can get ahead of that a little bit. Like, is there something else you'd rather be working on? Or is there something else you want to do? Or are you okay to just like muck around? That's okay too. It's just a matter of, if I did, I'd be like, I mean, remember I promised I was trying to like find something and be like, let's redo it. But you've corrected the out of that. Like, I mean, there've been like,
that's what I thought.
Dude, I think maybe you're not as interested in the current kind of copywriting that you're doing, whatever you're working on. And so you either kind of learn or move into a different niche within copywriting or direct response, or you just go enjoy yourself and just don't worry about it so much. But the thing is it's probably not very gratifying. Like, in other words, are you getting things done?
Yeah.
Well, then that's also all the more reason that it's probably not a triggered response. Because basically it's like, if you had a bunch of stuff you're supposed to be doing and then you're not doing it, that's a triggered response. That's kind of like what's up. And that was happening before. Like where you were like, I have to do certain things, I'm not getting stuff done. That's what you corrected probably the first 2 times. And so now you're just left with, maybe you don't.
I mean, I've got plenty of stuff I could get done, and it's like, oh, I could get that done now, and then take on extra work, and make more money and all that stuff. And I'm just like, there's just no hurry. There's no urgency.
Well, if it's not an urgency and it's not a disavowing, like it's not a pushing it away, then that's your adult. It's interesting though, because I wonder if you're basing it on some original team thinking of like, well, I'm supposed to always be wanting to make more money. I'm supposed to always be doing this. I'm supposed to, it's like, if you're, and I'm going to say some more about this, but if you're like, if things are good for the most part, and you're kind of generally satisfied with like level of income where you are, don't let anybody tell you that that's bad. Really. There's nothing bad about that or wrong about that. It's whenever we have triggering related to it that there's problems. But some people kind of reach a point where they're like good with stuff and they're pretty good with it.
Yeah. I think that's part of it. It's like, I'm fine.
Yeah. And so that's why I wouldn't worry. I mean, not saying not worry about it. I'm saying you can keep an eye on it, but I wouldn't quit trying to look for something to correct because there ain't anything there.
Okay.
You're basically in an adult place around it and you're just like, I'm pretty good. It's also, the other thing I want to say is it's also the end of the year. It's the weirdest year ever. It's been like a terrible, terrible, terrible year. Period. For me, I've had a lot of personal highs and a lot of everything else is weird. So you know what? Like, trust me, there's a part of me that is like, just get to the end of the year. Really the middle of December, because I don't work the last 3 weeks of the year. And I'm looking forward to that this year. Normally I'm like, oh, you should just pick up something else. You could make another $30,000 or whatever you're gonna do. And I'm like, nah, I don't wanna do anything. It's my adult, it's not my teen. I'm even supposed to film 9 videos for my new course. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think I want to do that. And I don't think it's my teen, it's my adult. It's like, you need a break. So anyway, if things are okay, they're okay. I mean, it's a taxing year, dude.
That's a good point. I think it's definitely the teen part that's being like, no, you've got to like always want more and that kind of.
And that you could correct. If you're, I mean, that should be corrected. If you're not running from something or hiding or running toward or whatever, then it's okay. And so you guys have to be the gauge yourself, you know? So kind of like be your own gauge as far as, is this triggered or not, you know? So don't worry about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sounds great.
All right. You're like, great, I have anything to do. You're like, click, and you like, go play. Like, I'd be like, good for him.